What's your favorite music genre?
Did you hear the question? My favorite music genre. Gosh, this is going to sound so cliche, but it's what I'm working on at the time, whatever it is. Because you get so, you ever read a really good book and you think, I got to read the next one. Yeah, this is my favorite book, right? And then you read a totally different book and you're like, oh man, this is my favorite book, right? So you kind of, it's literally what I'm doing at the time. I mean, I grew up playing in orchestras. I mentioned I started when I was 10, playing in an orchestra. So that's kind of my home, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily my favorite, just probably the most comfortable.
Is there one instrument, well this is kind of a two-part question, what is your favorite instrument to compose for and what's the hardest instrument to compose for?
Oh my gosh. There isn't one in here, but harp is challenging, but it's also my favorite. I mean, sometimes the most difficult things in life end up, once you figure out how to accomplish them, they become something you really enjoy.
Like War and Peace.
Sure, that's exactly what I was going to say. Well,
I'm a big reader.
I took a bike trip across country once, across the whole country. I rode on a bike, and the hardest part was the Grand Tetons, going over those big mountains, right? Guess which was the most beautiful part? Going over the Grand Tetons. So I kind of treat it like that. You know, you figure out a difficult task. Ooh, that was kind of cool. So I love the harp. Should get one.
Who's your favorite composer of all time?
Who's my favorite composer of all time? Oh man. Maybe Strauss, Prokofiev, Mahler. Strauss, there's a guy named Richard Strauss who wrote just the most romantic, lovely, lush music in the late 1800s and early 1900s, kind of. But not only that, he was a fantastic orchestrator. Do you know what I mean by orchestrator? That means that he gives really great parts to everybody and creates sounds by the way he pairs instruments that are just really cool. He had the craft completely mastered, the craft of composing. He could sneeze and it'd be a beautiful piece. I mean, Strauss, Richard Strauss, look him up. And then Prokofiev is a Russian composer. Anybody heard that name, Prokofiev? Peter and the Wolf, anybody? He wrote Peter and the Wolf. He was a little bit after Strauss, but he had this beautiful gift for writing melodies and really cool harmonies. Just unexpected, but just like, whoa, that's really neat. Now, who's the third one I said? Oh, Mahler. Anybody know of Gustav Mahler? He, trumpet player, right? You know Mahler. Mahler had this gift for just writing the most, just heart-wrenching music, and then he would write the most glorious music ever, like within a space of 5 minutes. I don't know how he did it, but his pieces would end up being 2 hours of all that. I mean, just pull at your heart, and then the world is a perfect place. And trumpets always had great parts. So. Actually, everybody gets great parts in Mahler. M-A-H-L-E-R, right? I spell that right? Look him up. He's awesome.